Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 8 of Civilization 5 on Deity. We're still just kind of waiting for China to pull the trigger. It'll probably happen at some point. I've got a few units on the front line. Maybe what I should do actually is pull my crossbowmen back a little bit and actually put the swordsman on the front line. Maybe we will have a little bit of a shuffle with our units shortly. Buenos Aires wants Voltology. We may adopt a policy, and Warsaw has grown. Let's go ahead and swap you guys around. Like so. There we go. That's much better, I suppose. Adopt a policy. So, do we want to sort of go down exploration yet, or do we want to carry on working down here? Don't think we desperately really need the great artist. We're not really building amphitheatres and opera houses, museums and broadcast towers at the moment. We'll probably need these later on, so I think we're actually going to open exploration. So that gives us more naval movement, which we don't really need right now. But getting this extra 3 production here is going to be very, very useful. Also, extra happiness from harbours, seaports and lighthouses. We've got all 3 of our cities are coastal. We'll have lighthouses in all 3 of them, I suspect. So that's going to be more happiness, which will stack with the extra culture we're getting from happiness. So it's a lot of these social policies do stack up well with one another. Let's just go ahead and make sure all of these guys are just sort of sitting fast. This workboat, you're actually going to go up here. It's going to take you like a week to get there, but that'll be a good tile to work. It's probably the first thing that's going to get pillaged by China if they've got any ships around at all. Now, I don't have any siege equipment at this point, so attacking China would be really stupid. Not going to attack them until I need to, and at the moment I don't need to. We've improved that wheat. I guess we should probably go down here and get the stone. There's not a lot of point to it, and we do need farms, I suppose. Let's actually go and get you doing this farm over here. We need to get that farm done. It might even be worth building a fort up on this hill as well, after that farm. Quite possibly the best thing to do. Have a nice little hill fort that I can defend. Of course, it's not an ideal spot because we would be within... anything sat in it is in bombardment range of Hangzhou, but what can you do, really? Not a lot. And obviously we'll be clearing the forest, which would give us a bit more production in Krakow, so I'll consider that. It's an option. We've got theology. Borders of Warsaw have grown to a random hill tile, which doesn't really make any difference to anything. Well, let's go on to the next turn then. Unit needs orders. You guys are going to build a farm. And my workers just standing here watching these Roman scouts running backwards and forwards over the same piece of land. That cattle's out of reach, so we don't need to worry about that. Still making fairly decent money. We can go get you set up now. So what does that put us on? 3 food, because we don't have a lighthouse over here yet. You're working that tile. Is there a better tile that you could or should be working? Probably not. We've got quite a lot of food in Krakow. Maybe this is going to be a better place to get things like the guilds. Maybe we'll get the Writers' Guild here, actually. I also want to get a Ducal Stable. We'll get that before the Writers' Guild. Circus, amphitheatres. We want all the things, basically. All the things. But yeah, we'll leave that like that. Do we not have a lighthouse here? No, because we're not coastal, derp. I was thinking Krakow was coastal, but it isn't. It's just that we can obviously work the sea tile because it's within range. So 2 of our cities are going to be coastal, but not Krakow. That makes sense. It'd still be nice to get the extra 3 production in Vodz and Warsaw anyway, so... They don't have a massive amount of production between them, so... It will not be wasted on that social policy. Plus of which, it's quite a good policy tree anyway. The extra happiness, the extra production, extra gold. The rest of the stuff's not all that useful unless you've got a lot of trade routes, but certainly unlocking those 3 is well worth it. And unlocking potentially these 3. Well, yeah. Do we need to get that as well? Not really. But getting those 3 and getting those 3 are definitely worth it. So, World Congress is founded. We can make a proposal. Let's go and do World's Fair, because why would you propose anything else? Makes the most sense. Caravan, you were the one that was going to Beijing. Beijing still offers the most gold, so we shall continue with that for the time being. We're getting a tiny bit of pressure from Taoism here, but not an awful lot. 7 turns away from getting the second pagoda, and then we'll switch over to missionaries. Everyone should quite like us for that proposal. It's usually a very good modifier with people. "101 turns to the next golden age." Don't see him very often when you play on the higher difficulties. It seems strange, doesn't it? Even though Krakow isn't a coastal city, we're still working off the coast, so why can't we build a lighthouse on the coast? It would make sense, right? To be able to build a lighthouse somewhere. Is this our new cargo ship? Yes, it is. We could send food to VODs, which would help it grow, but there probably isn't a lot of point in doing that. So let's trade with China for the time being, because it's another 3 science and it's another 8 gold, so anything that helps us catch the AI in tech is definitely worth it. You want to go to war with Nebuchadnezzar. I don't have any interest in that. However, if you'd like to start fighting China, you still want open borders. I wonder if we could get a declaration of friendship with China. And that would certainly help things out for us. Because she'd be much less likely to attack us if she did have a declaration of friendship. It doesn't mean she wouldn't. She'd just be less likely to. I'm guessing if I asked, she would say no, though. Yeah, she's not going to say yes. She's very, very unwilling. I think on the scale of 1 to 10 for willingness for friendship, she's about 4, if I remember my figures correctly. So, you never know. She wants to actually attack Neb. I guess I could have said yes, actually, and not really participated in the fight. Because Neb would have never been able to got any units over here to bother me. The thing is, there's only one city near her, so all that's going to happen is China's going to end up taking this city while Rome deals with the main forces. But now you seem to have a little bit of a willingness to go to war. Would you be willing to go to war with the Shoshone? No. What about the other way around then? Can't believe you're still neutral. I returned a worker to you and I didn't have to. Could have kept him for myself. Still not willing to attack China, huh? Fine. So, let us go and, well, we might as well grab a couple of farms while we're up here. We've upgraded most of the things that can be upgraded. See, look at this. Warsaw is fair enough, Warsaw is a coastal city, but look where the lighthouse is. The lighthouse is a whole hex away. If you can build a lighthouse a hex away from the city, why can't we build a lighthouse a hex away from the city here, and it would still be on the coast? It makes no sense. But let's go on to the next turn, because I don't think they're going to change the mechanics now. Yep, China pleased by my proposal. Okay, Rome has declared war on Babylon. Oddly enough, Rome is weaker than Babylon. Rome is very weak at the moment. I wonder if I'll catch him up. Again, another turn where we can't really do a lot, so we'll just have to click on. Declaration of friendship with Rome? Wow. Sure, why not? More declarations of friendship you have, the more likely you are to be able to get research agreements, and research agreements are good. Open borders with Spain. We don't need them. We've already got a declaration of friendship. She's only going to try and spam me with missionaries, so Discovered compass. Krakow has grown. That's Warsaw. Apparently Warsaw's grown as well. We are not working good tiles. Yeah, we need to make that a farm. We should probably make that a farm as well. So we need to get onto those. Krakow has grown. You're working that tile. Can you work that one instead? Because that one's going to be a farm. What else have we got? Salt to Pocatello. We were just selling salt straight up. We could get gems from Babylon. Rome doesn't have enough money to buy our salt. Spain doesn't quite have enough money to buy our salt. Let's keep trading with Pocatello. The main reason for wanting to do that is he is quite close to us, so having an ongoing trade with him will actually give a friendship modifier. The trading recently is worth having. So we'll keep that going. And we'll go on to the next turn. Just need somebody to be willing to attack China. And obviously somebody who's close enough to China that can actually make a difference. Right, China have a trebuchet. I've just seen it roll into Chengdu. Pocatello has completed the Sistine Chapel. It's definitely looking like a Pocatello Brazil game at the moment. Really? I have nothing at all that I can do on this turn? Fine, on to the next one we go then. Declaration of friendship with Brazil. I can't really attack them, they're too far away and I can't get to them and I don't have an army, so there's no reason not to have that declaration of friendship. I've got a feeling they're going to be one of the tech leaders, so we should definitely consider getting a research agreement with them as soon as possible. And it's always better to try and get your research agreements while you're behind, because then you don't have to pay the premium for being an era ahead. So we've got an automatic faith purchase. Now it's got another one queued up there, but I don't think we can actually buy another pagoda, can we? I thought we'd already got pagodas everywhere that we could have pagodas. Let's just go remind me later, and then do we have pagodas on the list? No, we do not. So we're going to save for a missionary and try and get rid of that, try and get rid of Taoism if we can. Let's go ahead to Brazil, because they're more likely to have better science than Rome. So we'll try and get a research agreement with you if we can. There we go. Now how much has that left us with? 354. Probably not enough to get one with Rome. I don't know if we want to get one with Rome. No, we are slightly short. That's fine. We don't really want to leave ourselves out of money just in case China do attack. No, we don't need open borders. But research agreements are good. Sick of being last in science. One of the reasons that I don't use Info Addict, although it's a very useful mod, is Info Addict always allows you to see at a glance just how many techs each person has. And normally you never see that, apart from when it pops up randomly every now and then and tells you the how literate each of the different civilizations are. I mean, you can find out. There are ways. If we go and actually look at a trade route between ourselves and Pocatello here. So, science gain. He's discovered 8 technologies that I do not know. And obviously we haven't discovered any that he doesn't know, because it would say. So he's 8 technologies ahead. We know he's the tech leader. So I'm 8 techs behind. So there is a way to work it out. Let's look at the demographics there. Yeah, we are still bottom. We are pretty much last on everything right now. Although production, land and money is definitely Rome. We're not terribly far behind on happiness. We're not massively behind the average on a lot of things. Definitely got the weakest army, but that's standard on Deity. You finish that farm. We need to make these 2 tiles into farms, and I think maybe it was that one. I don't know. There's so many farms. We need to make farms. Turn everywhere into farmland. Again, we probably do still want to get a few more defensive units out. No, we don't need open borders with you anymore. Thank you very much. We managed to get our scout back out to safety. Which one of these was my scout? I think it's that one. Yeah, you've got the, where is it? Ignores terrain cost. So we don't want you to die, hopefully. So gold per turn to Elizabeth's ended. That is fine. Again, all I've got here is the option for next turn. Not a lot we can do. 2 turns away from another crossbow. 2 turns away from the castle. 7 turns away from the Writers' Guild. Oh, would you look at that? Another settler. I don't know where they're taking that. You can't settle anywhere there. You can't settle there. You can't settle there. You can't settle anywhere here. You can't settle anywhere there. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that settler. It's not going to be bothering me. We've got metal casting. Salt to Caesar has ended. We could continue selling it to him. We could sell it to England as well. We could sell it to... In fact, what we were going to do is we are going to... Can't remember how much a luxury resource sells for. Is it 420? Is this speed or is it 360? It's like 360 or 365, isn't it? Something like that. 360? Yeah, 360. There we go. So there we go. We're back up to almost 1,000 gold. And making 48 gold a turn, so that's not terrible. We can certainly afford to get a few units out. And I'm also saving up, of course, because I do want to upgrade my swordsman to long swordsman. We'll also probably get a couple of armories out as soon as we can as well. Work has begun on a Coliseum. Unit is promoted. You can have... let's give them open terrain. Shouldn't really give them all open terrain because there's so much... so many forests and things around here, but we'll do what we can. Crossbowman has finished. We could go ahead and get the National Epic here, but I think... Again, so many useful things. The harbour would give us not an awful lot. Get the workshop would increase our production. Certainly worth having more production here. Let's get that, and then there's no real point having a garden right now because we're not generating any great people in this city. We could build the Artist Guild here, I suppose, and then after the Artist Guild we could build the garden. I don't suppose that is a terrible idea. So let's go on to the next turn. It may be worth getting a few naval units, triremes and such, just because that way we'd have a way of attacking Chengdu. We could also see around here a little bit more. Unfortunately, Shanghai's not coastal, so we don't really have a decent way of being able to attack that. And we can steal a technology, hopefully. Pedro isn't going to catch us. So we can actually steal education. Or we could steal physics. Let's steal education.
Education is the best provision for old age.
Because now we can get universities. Because we want universities. Universities are good. So after the Writers' Guild, we definitely want a university. And in Vlods, we definitely want a university. And over here, we definitely want a university. Because science is just generally good. You're going to sit still. We'll go on to the next turn. This is where we find out that Pedro caught us. At least we didn't get killed. Yep, he did catch us. So we're not to spy on you anymore, so we can no longer spy on Pedro. We shouldn't really do anyway, because we do have a declaration of friendship with him, but I didn't want to stop spying on him because we'd already invested several turns before we got the declaration of friendship. You want to go to war with China. I'm so tempted here to go yes, yes, 1,000 times yes, but I just don't know that I would be able to defend against China. I'm going to say no at this point, and bear in mind that Spain is willing to attack China. We know that Spain is willing to attack China. That is a very good thing. Unit needs orders. You finish the farm. Let us go and let's just grab more farms. There's not an awful lot else for you to do right now. Let us go and see if we can just pay you to actually go to war with China. You are willing to do it for about 11 gold per turn, 12 gold per turn. Willing to go up to 15. Maybe go a little higher. 9 gold per turn and 2 iron. You know what? Take it. I'll live without the iron. So at least we've got somebody at war with China now. Now we'll wait a turn, and then we'll see if we can get somebody else to dogpile in. Maybe we could get the Shoshone to do that. Do we have spare salt? Apparently we do. We'll carry on selling it to you. There's nobody else has anything we really want to swap with. You don't have enough money to give me the full amount straight up. I need to move my spy. And spy on somebody else. I wonder how many techs ahead of us China is. I could spy on China, but it's a little bit of a worry, because obviously it might upset them more. We are friendly with a lot of people. Babylon usually do quite well in terms of techs, though. They have 32 technologies. We have 29, so they definitely have a couple that we don't. So let's go ahead and take our spy. And we will move you, and we will put you in Babylon. We will put you in, put you in Babylon itself, Babylon Prime. We have ourselves a cargo ship. You were the one going to Timoak, so you can carry on doing that, because we're not getting nearly as much science from them as we used to, but it's still decent. And I think we've got time for one more turn here. We'll just see what happens. And we'll actually see if we can get the Shoshone to declare war on China now. I'm hoping that... no, we don't need open borders. I'm hoping that Spain can actually do some real damage to them. Now, the problem I have is I don't have any siege equipment. So that makes life a little difficult. But we will just go and see if we can get him to... oh, no. Don't do that. We want to trade, declare war on China. Still not willing to do it. I find that very odd. Rome probably won't be willing to do it because they're already busy with Babylon. But, oh well, we'll have to see what we can come up with on the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Civilization 5 on Deity difficulty. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye for now.